Welcome, everyone, to the second episode of Kirk Reads Your Comments. I don't know why I'm doing this. Chris, you're here to help me out. Chris Mouradian, the co-host of the Elevator Show that we do once a month and a regular contributor at notinhalloffame.com. But some people have been kind enough, or not so kind, to leave comments on some of the shows that I've done. Some with you, some with other people, and some from shows I've done 4 years ago. In the BC times before Chris.
You have staying power. They want to go back and rewatch your early work.
And my wife says I don't have much staying power anymore after I turned 40. But anyway. Okay. Oh. All right. Well, to do this, though, I've got to be able to read, so I got to put on my Charles Nelson Riley glasses. All right. Makes me look hot, don't it? Okay, so remember last month we had comments about my Beachcombers episode on a show I used to do called This Crap Was on National Television. Well, Alexander Wesner 9980. He commented on that. He had two comments. The first comment is, do you worship communism? Do you have a collection of Karl Marx books? Okay. Alexander, I'm going to answer your question. No, I do not worship communism. However, I did vote for that party once. That's a true story.
Yeah. You're Canadian. I don't know all about your different political parties up there, so
there's a lot of different parties. So here's what I did. So I was 19 and I could finally vote, and I was just trying to piss off my dad because I didn't know. I wasn't following politics. He says, you're just a kid, you don't live in the real world, and so and your political opinion doesn't matter. So I went out and I voted, and I was going to vote for the dumbest party I saw, and it was the Communist Party.
It makes perfect sense.
You can check actually the day after and how many people actually voted for them. So thanks to that people riding in Burlington South or whatever it was, I was one of 11 people who voted for that guy. You were welcome. I don't remember your name, but I did try. So Alexander, I do not worship communism, but I did I was a commie for a day to piss off my dad. And I do not have a I do not have a Karl Marx book. I think he's got more to say. And a second, here we go. I grew up during filming, and new actors, RIP, ask them how they feel from 1973 to 1991. You probably cannot. Why do you think you can I think he meant tell, think or judge for everyone else? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I didn't. I'm pretty sure I think it's crap. Apparently, a lot of people disagree with me. As for that actor comment, one of the actors who played the cop did comment on that. And he was a lot nicer than you.
I have no opinion on the show. I don't remember ever seeing it, so I will let your opinion stand.
All right. Yeah, well, you missed nothing. Basically, the show was a bunch of guys who were cruising the water on the coast of British Columbia looking for logs that fell off the bigger ships.
Okay.
That was the plot of the show.
Hence the name Beachcombers.
Yes. Yeah, I've caught you up. And there was the good ones and the bad one named Relic.
The good one and the bad one named Relic. So Relic was the
bad one was named Relic.
Okay.
And you knew and there was Nick and his First Nations friend Jesse. And I don't remember anything else.
Okay.
And there was not other than we had 3 channels, and that's what we watched on Sundays.
Okay.
It was a different time, kids.
I can tell you this, the Canadian TV I've seen recently has been a lot better. I just got through the 5th season of Shoresy. So
yeah, it's a different time now. Back then, holy crap. The Canadian shows were poorly produced, generally, badly written, and just there wasn't a lot of money behind it. But it came a long way, and that was actually because of a big part of that is Justin Trudeau's father, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. So here's a useless fact for you that you may not know. In the early 70s, he instituted a rule called CanCon. And all radio stations and all television stations had to play a certain amount of music or TV, depending on which it was, that was Canadian produced. So in the mid 70s, late 70s, that was made it really harsh because you have all these channels scrambling to come up with something that they made themselves. And Anne Murray was played everywhere.
Canadian made, Canadian produced.
Right. But, like eventually then we developed our own sort of our own cottage industry. But if it wasn't for that, there's a very good chance that Canadian television would still be not so good. And Canadian music has flourished a big part of that. But that's a side thing. Here's a little Canadian history lesson for you, eh?
All right.
All right. A comment, and this is from Sugar Shane 7131, and this is on a short about Jalen Hurts, and it says Jalen Hurts secures his legacy with the Super Bowl win. If you look at what we all said, that's not what we said. But the short makes it look to that point. And Sugar Shane says, way too early to be talking about Hurts as a HOF as a Hall of Famer, make better content. Well, dude, watch the whole thing. Make better content.
Yeah, I mean, the clip there was taken out of a larger conversation, and the fact that he's now a Super Bowl winning quarterback, those are the one of the big criteria for quarterbacks that tend to help them on the path to a Hall of Fame.
Yes, neither Chris nor I were anointing him as a Hall of Famer right now. He's not.
No.
I can understand from that title, you might think that's what we're saying, but that's fine. On the same one, Tim6617. Right, this is interesting. Player versus player, Hurts could not hold Donovan McNabb's jock, but the shitty media brainwashed the public and put team achievement to an individual award at the quarterback position. This is a shame. So Hurts has a better shot at the Hall of Fame than Donovan and Randall. The Hall of Very Good is better than the Hall of Famers. Okay, I see where you're going with that. It's actually nice to see Donovan getting some love because on the site, he gets more hate than anybody else. I don't quite know why that is, but thank you, Tim, for your comment. Let's see. What do we got here? Wayne Gretzky faces criticism of Canada. Oh, this is from our friend Paul Lawrence.
Oh, hey, Paul.
Right. No one cares if he's friends with Trump or golfs with him, but Canadians expect him to stand up and defend Canada's sovereignty, dismiss the insults and threats publicly, and at Four Nations as team honorary captain, he should have worn the jersey, wear pin, and support Canadian team, and that was the role. Paul's got a point. Gretzky did not. That's true. I didn't even pick up on that at the time, but yeah, Gretzky did not. I have no problem with him sort of acknowledging the Americans at that point because I'm sure he's friends with a lot of them or knows them. They all know Gretzky, obviously, in some capacity, and I'm sure in some social level. But there is something to that. He did not say anything publicly, even if he did, even in a joking manner. Having said that, I'm always going to stand for Gretzky because he's done so much. If he has a slip up here and there, I get it. I'll have his back. But don't do it again.
No, fair point.
Yeah.
You being the Canadian, we just borrowed him for a few years with the Kings and the Blues and the Rangers. So he's one of yours.
Yeah, although I don't think he's in Canada for 30 years at this point.
Do you remember him with the Blues?
I think he had a run with the Blues, but I mean, was it really?
It's just, destroyed by Keenan again.
Yeah. Oh, what did I read? I don't know. A buddy of mine just came from Winnipeg. And so I don't know if you know this, all the liquor stores have pretty much taken all the American booze off the shelf.
Yeah, I saw videos of that.
Yeah. And so I asked my friend, because he just came here from Winnipeg, is that really the case? And he says, yeah, it is. They even took the Gretzky stuff down because Wayne Gretzky, he's got a winery.
Wine.
Yeah. He's also got some liquor. Apparently they took that down too. So
he already bought it. I don't know, taking it off the shelf, how you're going to get your money back, but okay.
All right, so this is a comment on a show I do with Evan, and we looked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees and debating Manah's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame chances. That's a Mexican band that got nominated for the Rock Hall, and I wasn't familiar with them at all. This is from Jamie Alvarez, 4851. Los Lobos are definitely way overdue. I'd agree with you. And actually, Los Lobos predate Mana, also true. They've been rocking a whole lot longer and have done it in English and Spanish. Nonetheless, Mana has taken Latin American rock music to a whole different level. They've done it all in Spanish. I can't disagree with any of that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Nicole, I think this is one with you. Yeah, there you are in the picture. Talking about Nikola Jokic, the unmarketable NBA superstar is the short. And just a very quick and simple comment. Hold on. Make it bigger. From Lygia-S50. Brain over psychic? I think she meant to say physique. All right.
Cerebral player as opposed to a physically imposing player. I get it.
Okay, we were on ours. Jordan Binnington rising to the occasion in the championship game. I don't know what this comment means. If it's from Kitty Cat Meow Meow 3325. Gee, I hope there isn't an evil knife guy.
Me too.
All right. Well, nothing on the Beachcombers again. God damn it. From Craig Rimaha 6760. I like that show in New Zealand 70s TV. I wonder what your equivalent would have been.
Me or
New Zealand? The equivalent in New Zealand, the sheep herders.
The Beachcombers with sheep?
The sheep herders. That show sounds really bad.
Kind of gives me a little WWF vibes there.
Another one on the Beachcombers. Jesus Christ.
It's just, they're asking for a second episode. You need to do a second episode, a follow-up.
You might be the co-host for that one. I might make you watch that. From Trav G. Peters 1. What the hell? Crap. This is one of the greatest shows ever. And we got two more. Dwight Howard. I guess any videos of pictures of Dwight Howard are under strict patent. I don't know. I don't make that part. I think it's just easier to do it this way. So, and there we go. I get to close this with a bang. I had Jack Moore from the More to Consider podcast as a guest. Great conversation. He is a former litigator turned podcaster. So he can talk on virtually any topic you want. We were talking mostly sports and just the culture behind it. And he just had a great time. Thanks for hosting. So I get to leave this with a bang.
Yeah.
There we go.
That one out.
Yes. So keep your comments coming. Even on the Beachcombers one, if you really want to, I'll read them.
Yeah, this is fun. I like to hear from you out there. It shows us that we're not just talking to each other here. Other people are noticing us, and we appreciate that. And you can tell us what you really think. We don't mind.
We don't mind. Absolutely. My skin is thicker than these glasses.
We grew up in the 70s and 80s. We called each other all sorts of names. Nothing you're going to say is going to hurt us.
Well, basically, I think the audience, though, that we have is mostly grew up in the 70s and 80s, so I don't think there's any issue there. So that brings this episode to a close. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, make it count, and check out all our stuff at notinhallofame.com and the United States Athletic Hall of Fame, www.theUSAHOF.com. Tally ho.
Good night.